Hi there, this is Carrie with Karilee Creations. I just started my Etsy shop this year, and one of my best sellers so far is my debt snowball and my budgeting Excel spreadsheets. So I recently upgraded what I've been selling, so I just wanted to do a quick tutorial or a brief overview of what the spreadsheet does and how it looks. But you can visit my Etsy shop if you're interested in purchasing. I'm an accountant by day, and this is just something I decided to do on the side. I like to be crafty, but so far I've only created spreadsheets, so we'll see where it goes from here. But I'm really proud of this because it's something that I use personally. So I created it in Microsoft Excel, and the first tab will be the instructions on how to use the debt snowball, which, if you're familiar with the snowball method, it's kind of basic instructions, but it tells you how to use this specific spreadsheet. So we'll go to the debt list. Now these are all of your, where you list all of your debts, and there are 30, I believe, yeah. There's enough room for 30 different debts. I use quite a bit of these spaces because my student loans are broken into smaller debts, so that takes up a lot of space. And so you just put the debt name, the current balance, the minimum payment, and the interest rate here. You could also number them from, maybe the most important to the least important, something like that. Because when you're finished entering all of your debts, you can sort them by any of these fields. But for the snowball method, you'll see just entering them in here like this, it says our debt-free date will be April 1st of 2023. Now for the debt snowball method, we will sort the balance from smallest to largest. Now that is the true snowball method, where you start paying off your smallest and continue to pay the minimum payment towards the next one when you get it paid off. Now you can see that reduced our debt-free date by 10 months, so almost a year, just by doing the snowball method instead of just randomly paying your bills. So I'll show you how that is calculated by going to the My Snowball plan. This is where we will put in how much extra we'll have every single month. Excuse me. And in this instance, we'll say $200. So we'll have $200 extra per month to throw at the debt. If you increase that, say you have 1,000 extra, you'll see that that will really reduce your debt-free date. So you just, whatever fits your situation, you put there. If you happen to have money in your savings that you want to throw at your debt to begin with, you'll put that in the one-time startup box here. In this instance, I put $500. And then we'll put our start date as March 1st. So that'll show us March 1st, this is the payment we're going to make on this debt. And this is the payment we'll make on this debt, where this includes the $200 that we have extra and the $500 startup. And then we'll go here to pay $200 on this debt. And then it just continues to keep going all the way over all the way. It's a lot of debts, but you don't have to use all of these spots. Over here, you'll see your total debt is added up and your total minimum payments of $3,000 per month. That will coincide with your information up here. All of this information is used to fill your debt snowball, and this is just a check figure to make sure that it really adds up to all of your debts. I've tried to protect a lot of the formulas, so this spreadsheet continues to work correctly. You'll see that your monthly payments, the first monthly payment will be $3,700, which is $3,000 plus the $500 one-time startup and the $200 extra per month. And then for the remaining months, you'll be paying $3,200, which is the $3,000 plus your $200 monthly. And then your final payment will be a little over $2,300 in the month of June, and you will be debt free. Now, I did add a special feature here where if we'll go back to the beginning. All right, so say we want to go back to anyways, if you wanted to make an extra payment on this debt, we'll call it a snowflake payment, which you can do with any of your debts if you want to pay more than the minimum payment. So if we want to do more than the minimum payment here, we say we want to pay a double payment, we'll put that in there and your information will adjust. And this means your debt will be paid off. It'll still be in June, but the final payment will be less. So for any of these debts, you can add a snowflake payment if you have extra money that you want to apply to it. So we'll just do it that way. And now, after you look at your snowball and everything looks in line, you will go to print month, where we told it up here that we want to print our March bills. So you'll see that it lists all your debts with the minimum payment amount that you're going to pay, and also it adds on your additional payments. So the total amount is how much you should be paying for the month of March. Now when you change it to the month of April, since we haven't added any snowflakes, see, by April these two should already be paid off, so you don't have a minimum payment. So you'll just have all of these payments, which total your $3,200 you have to pay towards debt. So that's the one important thing you have to do is, after you do have some of your debts paid off, you'll want to go back to your debt list, and I don't know, you may want to do this monthly or what, but you'll want to change your balances to what they currently are. So, you'd reduce those, and you can either leave them on there or you can delete them completely, which you just highlight them all and hit delete. And then you'll resort, and well, you'd probably want to just take them off. You'll delete all of them and resort smallest to largest and go from there. But you'll have to go through and take out your snowflake payments from the previous month. That will be a manual thing you'll just have to do. My previous spreadsheets, I added macros in, and that wasn't always easy to share that file. In some cases, it doesn't work in Google Sheets or Excel Online. So it's just easier not to work with macros when you're um, providing this to other people. So let's see. Also included in this file, which is kind of a bonus, but when you're on your snowball plan, you have to know how much money you're going to have every month to pay towards your bills. So I've created, this is what I use on a regular basis. It's my paycheck to paycheck budget. I get paid every 2 weeks. Well, actually twice a month, on the 15th and the 30th. So I like to, what you do first is you go in here and put the date that you're starting or your week ending date. Say your week is going to end on a Sunday. So that would be, let's see, 3/2, I believe. No, 3/1. Okay. So let's see, 3/1. We'll just start it on 2/28 because that's when I get paid. So here you have 6 different levels of, 5 different incomes that you can add here, which, if you have a couple jobs, a couple side hustles, maybe family or tax refund comes, you'll want a space for that separately. So we'll just say, I make 5,000. Oops. I make 5,000, which I don't, but so we'll have 5,000. And then down below, you'll want to put all of your bills, their due dates, their amounts that you owe for the month or on a regular basis. So we'll say our rent is $1,500 and it's due on 3/1. Well, that's giving me problems. Oops. There we go. So since it's due on the 1st, I'm going to use this paycheck to pay that. So we'll take the $1,500. We'll say that I have $500 in the bank right now. You want to put how much you have left over to start your budget. So your total income is going to add all of these up to $5,500. Your total bills are going to add all of these to see how much you have in bills, which leaves you with $4,000. And if you don't have any more bills this week, it's going to carry it over here to being left over. The only way to get it out of leftover is to add an expense of some kind. Even if you want to take $3,000 of it and maybe put it in your emergency fund, you'll put your $3,000 there. And then that brings your ending cash balance to only $1,000. And then every week, okay, I get paid on the 15th, so it's going to be during week ending the 20th. So I'd put my other $5,000 there and just continue to do that. I'm going to get paid during this week. And just, continue to do that. And add all your bills in here. I've already got a good list started, which can just be deleted or typed over. The good thing is if you wanted to use this paycheck to pay your rent and a couple car payments, or maybe your car payment is due here and one is $500 and the other is $800. Now you'll see that this week you are $300 short. So you may need to adjust something. Maybe you only pay $500 of it here and then wait until you get paid to pay the other $300 or something. So this is what I use I look at my budget daily. So Some people have also asked if I could do a bi-weekly, which to me this works for weekly, bi-weekly, however often you get paid. You just have to figure out what week it falls into, because even though I get paid twice a month, I like to be able to put my weekly expenses in, say my gas or food budget. I'll fill in, I'm going to pay $75, 75, and just go all the way over with it. That my budget for the week is $75. So that just tells me how much money I have to have left over to be able to cover those expenses, so I don't go crazy with my money. But I've also added a tab here that just calculates bi-weekly, which it's just you enter your starting date, which we'll put March 1st here, and every 14 days. So if you get paid every 14 days, these should be and this is your first payday, these should be your other paydays this month. So you can just add in your work amounts. But I guess pretty much that's it. It's just a simple, we have 5 actual tabs with instructions, and I have a budget sample here, which is basically what I just showed you. A little bit of hints and tips from my experience of using this. So I just want to help people know where their money is going and have a plan for their money, because that's the best way to get out of debt, is when you know where your money is actually going. So if you like what I've created, or you like my tutorial and want to see what else I come up with in the future, just please like and subscribe. Check out my Etsy shop. I plan on making other things too. I like to play around with digital art, and I have a sublimation set up in my house. I have a Cricut. I have all kinds of stuff going on here. So we'll see what happens in the future. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration, and thank you for visiting. Have a great day.